fair to say that it's been a historically incredible season for McLaren in 2025. They are absolutely walking to their second consecutive Constructors' crown, and it looks all but certain as well that either Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri will become world champion for the first time in their career as well, becoming the first McLaren drivers to win a Drivers' Championship in Formula 1 since Sir Lewis Hamilton managed it with the team back in 2008. It's been that long. But like I said, historically good season. So which records could they potentially break in the remaining 10 races of this campaign? Of course, so far we have had 14 Grand Prix from a 24 Grand Prix calendar. We've also had 3 out of the 6 sprint races as well so far in 2025. So which records could McLaren break, and do I think it's likely that they will do so? Here are 5 of the most significant, guys. Let's dive into this. So the first one is the most 1-2 finishes in a season. McLaren are on a really good streak of 1-2 finishes at the moment, and they could break the all-time record for the most 1-2 finishes in a Formula 1 season. They currently have 7 from just 14 races, which gives them a batting average of 1-1-2 finish for every 2 races. That means if they keep that up for the remainder of the campaign, they should be on 12, which would equal the all-time record from Mercedes, who managed to get 12 1-2 finishes from 19 races in 2015. Now, of course, that would put them below in terms of their actual percentage, but keep in mind that McLaren have managed to get 4 1-2 finishes in a row at the moment and 5 1-2 finishes in the last 6 Grand Prix. If they keep that up, they could get 15, 16 easily by the end of the season. We'll see what happens though, guys. Still a long way to go in this one. But speaking about most consecutive 1-2 finishes, McLaren are very close to equaling the all-time record. Their current run of 4 1-2 finishes puts them just 1 behind the all-time record of 5 1-2 finishes in a row. Both Ferrari and Mercedes have managed this on a number of occasions, but even McLaren, back in their glory days with the likes of Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, never managed 5 1-2 finishes on the bounce. If they get a 1-2 finish at the Zandvoort round and then at the Italian Grand Prix after that, they will break the all-time record. And all of these 1-2 finishes gives them an incredible points total, and in fact they could break the record for the most points in a single season from a constructor. Currently they are on 559 points after 14 of 24 rounds. The all-time record is 860, which was set by Red Bull Racing in 2023. To beat that record, they effectively have to average 30 points a weekend or more. The maximum you can get from a regular Grand Prix weekend is 43, and from a sprint weekend it is up to 61 points. I wager they will beat that record. By how much, I do not know, but they could get 900 plus points quite comfortably this campaign, especially if they keep these 1-2 finishes going. And 1-2 finishes, of course, contribute towards podium tallies. McLaren currently have 24 podiums from the opening 14 rounds, and the record for a team in a certain season is Mercedes with 33 that they managed in 2016. They only need to get 10 more podiums from the next 10 races, so a McLaren driver has to finish on the podium in every one of the remaining 10 Grand Prix to beat this record. I think they will do so comfortably. They'll probably get at least 40 if they keep going at the way they are. Because at the end of the day, they're not only quick, but they're also very consistent and extremely reliable too. And the last one, guys, the most fastest laps for a constructor in a single season. Ferrari currently hold the record for this with 14 fastest laps from 18 races in 2004. McLaren currently have 9, so they need to get 6 more in the remaining 10 rounds to actually beat this record. It'll be tough to do, but it is possible, again, because they are so quick right now, especially in race pace. But yeah, of course, I'm sure some people will be pointing out, well, McLaren have had more races to beat these records than a lot of these past seasons, and that is true, of course, but at the end of the day, it is still impressive from McLaren to do it over a longer season, in effect, because back in the day, they were shorter. They were only 16 rounds back in, I don't know, the early 90s and the late 80s, and you go back to the 1950s, there wasn't even 10 rounds on the calendar, but yeah, seriously impressive season for McLaren. They are breaking a lot of their own records already, and I reckon 3 or 4 of these 5 records will be toppled by the end of the season. And I'll do a little update, of course, going over that as well, no doubt, at the end of the season. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think how many of these 5 records will McLaren break by the end of the season, by the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix? I want to hear what you have to say about this as always. Like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, have a fantastic day over the world today, and we'll see you very soon.